As T1 ties up the series with DRX, we are now on a 1-on-1 score line for the match number 2 of tonight. Was there any difference in terms of draft for T1? Well, actually, in game number 1, they were having very passive picks, but this time around, they went for an Ornn versus Camille matchup, a very aggressive one. DRX, on the other side, they locked in Echo as a counter for Azir. So each team focused on a different lane, but this time around, it was not a one-sided match. DRX did have a gold lead throughout the series, but with the T1's teamfight ability, T1 got all the neutral objectives and then turned the game around. So we can say it was a very close series and both teams were doing a great job. This will be the first highlight. This one kind of mentions why the post-team fight actually matters. So this is about the macro after the team fight. So it was a trade on mid laner and support, and Graves was really low on HP. So T1, they actually didn't have a heads up on the DRX Baron burst, so they were overstaying on the maps. Kalista was clearing out the minion wave, and also Camille stayed counter jungling the DRX jungle. However, DRX, they were so quick for regaining health. So Pyosik, with the lifesteal, he quickly regained his health and bursted the Baron. So they picked up effort over there and then rotated to the Baron, gaining so much profit over here. So DRX, they were able to pick up the Baron even before Camille was able to raise a turret in the bot side. But moving on, we do want to mention about T1's teamfight ability. Effort. Look at this miracle hook, finding depth. DRX was actually waiting for this moment to the Elder Drake buff to fall off from T1, but at that right moment, Effort was also able to hook on Ezreal. In addition, Camille was doing a lot of work in the side lane, but at the same time, Camille was so powerful in this team fight. So, there was no one to reach to Kalista on the DRX side, but T1 players, they had a massive resistance from the Mountain Soul. Then let's check out who will be the player of the game for game number 2. Kana, the first non-bot laner POG for tonight. We were able to witness a team fight Camille over here. In this highlight, we could see why Graves is so weak for turret dives. And also, Pyosik's ultimate was a little bit fast, opening the space for Kana to survive the turret dive. And Kana was having a huge contribution all throughout the team fight in game number 2. He was especially so good at focusing on the opponent AD carry, locking him up with his ultimate. So Kana picked up 8 votes out of 12. So with this T1's victory, we are now about to head to the decider match. Will T1 be able to get a birthday present for the coach Kim? Or whether DRX can get their revenge of the spring split? Let's hop over to the Rift.
Thank you very much, Ji-sun, as usual, for the translation of the analyst desk. And here we are to match point between DragonX and T1. This is a really dicey one for DRX. It's going to be very, very hard for them to overcome what is a juggernaut of T1 that has started moving. You know, it's really started to plod through the jungle, ripping apart everything in its wake. And this gentleman on your screen right here is going to have to come out with something in this draft phase to really put them back on track.
Well, we'll see what game number 3 has in store. I liked one of the comments that I actually read in between the games that basically said that Chovy's back actually just gave out at the end. That,
that might have been it.
It actually just snapped in half, so it was pretty much it. DRX now, they're going to be back on the blue side. Let's see what type of approach they take to the draft. Will they go back to their Sinner ways to try to just close out the game fast?
Well, I actually think steering away from Ornn-style compositions for DRX does make some sense for this team. But we'll see whether Canna is going to have, once again, one of these miracle matchups that is so good. Also, to his credit, very well-deserved player of the game. He played amazingly well.
Played very good.
But it certainly showed how incredibly difficult it is to play against the Camille as any sort of tank. As Kalista this time going to be taken away once again. It was the first ban in game number 1, and will be the first ban again. Set was their second one, actually, and now you can sort of understand, I guess, because Cuz was in the right places at the right times, and so they are going to ban that one away again.
Well, let's take a look here at what is going to be the next ban. Will Aphelios or Sandra end up getting banned away?
It's taken about 200 years for them to find Aphelios.
Maybe 200 seconds.
Yeah, true.
Ooh, actually, if they utilized all of... Oh, no, it still wouldn't equate to that. Never mind. I was trying to count the amount of ban timer.
Yeah, there might... I mean, there'll be at least 200 seconds.
Even if you use all... No, it's 180, so that's...
Ah, right, okay, so...
Yeah, 3 minutes.
Sorry, I was thinking both teams' bans.
Need 3 minutes and 20
You'd have to
seconds.
coordinate with your opponents to get there.
Unfortunate, Alice, unfortunate.
It is a bit of a yikes. The Karma is going to be the final ban here on DRX's side. And now, we're looking for a Syndra, an Ezreal, an Aphelios, any of these, but it's going to be Nidalee taken away. And DRX, do they just prioritize the Syndra? Because this is, in fact, the first time that she's been let through so far in the LCK for Summer. Sample size relatively low, 4 games. But DRX instead prioritize the Ezreal just that much.
Yeah. And we'll see what they end up pairing him with, as Aphelios is still open. And, you know, I am of the school of thought that Ezreal is superior to Aphelios thematically, even though obviously all the memes that do surround the champion.
Yep.
There is a reason for it, as Twisted Fate.
TF and Graves both locked in.
You know that they are partners, they're partners in the lore.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I think his name is Malcolm, right? Malcolm Graves.
It actually reminds me of X-Men like a lot, right? Because it's
Gambit and...
it's Gambit and Wolverine.
Yes. Yes.
100%.
Gambit and Wolverine. Yep.
It's actually really cool. Okay, that's what we can call the duo. That was easy. Lee Sin being considered here by Pyoshik. 1 second to go, and they are going to lock it away. The first Lee Sin that we've seen so far for the Summer Split. This is a good champion. LS, I learnt this when we were doing the Mid-Season Cup.
I sensed the sin.
It was a champion that was winning, which was absolutely insane. Kasa had, like, if you guys didn't watch the tournament, Kasa had probably one of the best Lee Sin games I've ever seen. It was so good.
The really scary thing here is that if they actually go B3 Ornn, T1 can just respawn R3 Camille. And I don't understand how DRX can ever try to find a way out of that. And then they go a Zir ban, Orianna ban, and then say good luck.
Yeah.
To DRX. I feel like that is the line. Alternatively, they go a Zir Syndra ban, but they're gonna R3 Aphelios instead. So
I feel like Syndra would have been such an easy pickup for Chovy. I mean, I think it's likely that we're going to see DRX picking up Zoe for Chovy where they can, and allowing the Ezreal Zoe mid-game control to really get them towards their ornaments and get control of the game. But now we are in for 200 years of power in the hands of Teddy, which will be very scary. There's the Braum, for some reason.
Well, Braum banned away by T1. And DRX now have to decide on what they want to ban. Will they just ban the Camille? If they ban Aatrox, I am walking
I think it has to be.
Alright,
I mean,
okay.
Camille Fiora are the obvious bans, right?
It kept
Because
me for a
Fiora
little
does
longer.
basically the same thing.
Yeah.
And we know that Canna wants to play it. He was hovering it. They were making the decision between the two, I believe, in the last game.
Well, let's take a look at what T1 are going to ban next. Honestly, I have no idea where they're going with it. It's going to be the Azir themselves.
I think Syndra would have made a lot of sense there, though. I find it really interesting that Syndra has gotten this far through. And they're not going to be picking it.
Yeah.
It's very strange.
So, DRX now have to decide on a champion.
Wukong going to be
It'll
the
be
choice.
Wukong, yep. And T1... Now, there is a lot of value in utilizing support counterpick. That is a very real, legitimate thing that they can do. That might be top Yasuo.
Could be.
Nope.
Do get a lot of armor penetration, but it might have been Teddy just memeing because, of course, the back-to-back losses of Yasuo Gragas bot lane still haunt many a T1 fan. And that is the Nautilus, 200 years under the sea, I think, is what we're going to call this bottom lane because we're seeing it a lot. Nautilus Aphelios, I think that makes a lot of sense. Keria, I would absolutely love Brad to be locked in here. Brad and Ezreal is a real strong lane.
And, well, Bard is being hovered and will get locked in. And now DRX have to decide on a mid lane champion. Syndra is one of the obvious thoughts.
Syndra Zoe, I think, make a lot of sense here for DRX, especially considering Chovy's immense amount of power.
Zoe can get really difficult because of TF, though. It's very easy to lock her down. Very easy to lock her down, and then TF has a lot of options.
That's a Ziggs.
That's a Ziggs.
I like it.
So, the one thing I don't like, though, is the amount of magic damage on the side of DRX.
True.
Bard, Ezreal, Ziggs, and Ornn all dealing obscene amounts of magic. And Silas is being hovered now.
I prefer Fiora, to be perfectly honest, but Kayle is another option, and they are going to lock that one in. And T1 have a very balanced composition.
Yeah, they really
nowhere
do.
near the difference.
And they're all ranged. They're all mobile.
Yeah.
They can all reposition. All of these things are very good attributes to have against Ornn, Lee Sin, Ziggs, Bard, Ezreal. So it's going to be very difficult for DRX to fight in the later stages. T1 have split push potency out of control with the Kayle and the Twisted Fate. So while Ziggs can sort of slow it down with his Mega Inferno Bomb.
Yep. Super Mega Inferno Death Rocket Bomb.
Okay.
Yep.
Even though he can slow it down, it doesn't change the fact that T1 have a lot of control. However, Chovy is the Ziggs player in the LCK.
Chovy and Deft.
Yep.
They're our two Ziggs players. They're on the same team.
And what basically DRX are going for here is lane kingdom across the board, with Ornn being there as a means to penetrate any sort of turret defenses that T1 would try to mount. Snail, Graves, Twisted Fate, Aphelios, and Nautilus on the side of T1. They have a lot of anti-split push as well as split push themselves with these champions, and they scale out of control.
Yeah, this is a beautiful drop out of T1, actually. And it's taken to Game 3 to get themselves a draft win, but they've done it. And also, Game 3s are the ones that T1 generally win. They are very, very good at closing out series. But DRX do have a lot of comfort. Def's Ezreal, Chovy Ziggs. And my mind is entirely in the jungle. And whether or not Pyosik is going to be able to have the impact that he needs to have. He's played Nidalee and he's played Graves. These are two champions that just like to farm, like to show off their big numbers. But Lee Sin is very much, you have to scrap, you have to try and find advantages early. And that has not been what Pyosik has been good at.
Right. I mean, it's not what most teams with Lee Song have managed to be good at. And I feel like the only reason that you could feel comfortable as a DRX fan in this game would primarily just be because you know that Pioshek's going to have to try to gank and pressure, and at the very least, that's going to allow Chovy and Deft to sort of do their thing and try to accelerate very quickly. And in doing so, maybe they can amount enough of a lead to the point where T1 can't recover.
Yeah, and it feels like something that DRX are very used to doing, right?
Yeah.
They will have the Ornn insurance, but I think Kale insurance is just a little bit better. This kind of moves on down, and we'll just take a bit of damage there.
A grass proc.
Huh. All right.
So he has Grasp of the Undying.
You may as well bop him.
You could just skirmish, and sure, Kale's gonna hit you back a little bit as well, but you're gonna get at least 2 procs.
Yeah.
Which, no reason not to. And then with Lee Sin to the south, you have definitely some new options that can be created depending on what happens on wave 2, but choosing to play it very safe.
There's a satchel charge coming out there from Chovy, just trying to get some chip damage onto Faker, who's already blown his first Corrupting Potion charge. No Corrupting Potion to be picked up here by Chovy, opting into the Doran's Ring. Asked his top laner for it. He said okay. And Carrier with Jump Bud, looking adorable. And Deft, as usual. He was a Pulse Fire Ezreal for a long time, but he's gone back to the Frozen, the OG, the Double Lift Ezreal.
Wait a minute, is this the new Bard skin? Is he using...
It's the Luna one. Yeah, sorry. Looks like pajamas because they're...
Oh my, it's the Cosmonaut Bard.
Awesome.
The Astronaut Bard.
Effort chose the wrong skin, dang it.
It's honestly one of the best skins in the entire game. I'm really happy right now that Carrier is debuting it. And yeah, Effort did not choose the Astronaut Nautilus.
I know.
So.
And Doran didn't choose Astronaut Timo. I'm so bothered.
Yeah.
This is terrible.
And I'm not sure what Doran's doing here, because you can see he has Q, he has W up. He's not immediately shoving in the wave, and so this is going to cause this next wave to get here and start to come back to him. And you can just see this is very awkward timing for all of this to happen.
Well, especially with Cuz making his way up. Minion wave in time here is, yeah, Cuz not going to be doing too much damage there apart from the end of the line. That's been nerfed in this patch if you remember.
Yeah. The initial Q damage is down by 0.2.
Yeah, Rift Scuttle's going to be traded this time around. Koshik unable to take his 100% record of the first 2, which I believe he had throughout the series.
And so far in this game, though, not a whole lot happening for DRX. And when you pick Lee Sin, I talk about this all the time, no matter what region I'm watching, you have to manipulate your lane states to be favorable for him to gain. Because if you're just perma-pushing over and over and over and over, there's no opportunity for Lee to go in and try to get any sort of a gank. And so, in a very bizarre way, it ends up working against DRX.
Yeah, it should be a situation where top lane, like Canna, will be shoving out. As the teleport right onto the enemy turret is going to allude to something different on Doran's side. Very coordinated teleports back to lane for both of our solo laners on DRX's side. There's another cheeky knock up there from Doran, but going to trade that damage back by taking a turret shot. A lot of vision available for T1 though in this river. It certainly shows that T1 understand that the Kale is something that they need to protect. There's Chovy's bouncing bomb flying on through here. Getting a bit of damage onto Faker, who's looking for a blue card and finds it.
And the other thing that is going to make matters difficult here for Chovy is Faker went Boost of Swiftness, first item, on TF. And so he is moving so fast, it's going to make it so hard to land those bouncing bombs. And that ward did not see Graves.
Cool, but Cuz was just getting vision. Some pings out there. Pioshik discovers that Graves not doing the Drake, but he might actually... Oh my goodness, he is... Effort's going to move up. Walks over the ward, and I think now DRX... No.
Oh Oh, man.
Chovy has Mega Inferno Bomb. He could use that in the Dragon pick to check. But it looks like they are just going to be able to take this one down. That's free. It's good use of vision, but I think a little bit unlucky there for DRX that they couldn't see the Dragon with that ward. They're going to thank Pioshik for pulling the Drake out of the pit for them.
Well, at this point, it looks like T1 is just sitting really happy in this game. Nothing's happening.
Yeah.
Quite literally nothing. Why? I mean, Lee Sin is just perma-farming with the Graves. He's obviously going to lose out when this is the case. And nothing is really happening. So we're in a very bizarre kind of lull state. And you take a look at Twisted Fate's turret, and nothing's happening whatsoever. So Ziggs not going to be able to even threaten first turret of the game. He's not getting any plates for himself. And Kayle, I mean, she's so comfortable. She has a call inside of the lane.
Yeah.
Doran, I don't even think he's been farming Grasp of the Undying procs.
I mean, at least Doran is even on farm. That's fine. Problem is, it's a Kayle. So going even with Kayle's bad news. Still, he's going to be relevant moving into the mid game. Chovy going to grab his blue buff. Yeah, Doran, sorry, Pioshik really needs to start doing something. Magical Journey is going to get Keria out of the way, but Deft is going to not be so lucky. I feel like this DRX lane probably should be in a better position than it is right now. As Kana trying to chase after Doran.
Well, no, this is a disaster.
Yep, Ornhorn comes in, and Kana throws down the ultimate. Cuz turns up. Q's going to land there from Pioshik, who does have the Dragon Rage kick available, but that is going to be a stalemate in the end. Both junglers' positions are now known.
Yep. And Doran just going to clear out the wave. They know about Cuz.
It looks like they're attempting
trying to
do
bait
some
it.
bait.
Yeah, they're trying to bait it. And remember, Twisted Fate, ultimate available.
Yeah, he's walking towards the mid lane now. Things come in. He is seen, but it looks like DRX not wanting to muddy the waters at the moment. Cuz should be able to grab Shelly very comfortably here, though, as Effort comes over, takes out this control ward. And Deft farming bottom side is certainly helpful. Teddy moving up the river. Ezreal free farming's good, but I just don't know whether it's good enough to warrant giving away everything in this early game. Doran doesn't have ult. Faker is right here. Keria is here as well, but it's not going to be a thing. As yeah, I don't know what Doran was really thinking there. Mega Inferno Bomb does do a fair bit of damage. But in the end, not actually able to do anything. Just a bit of a whoopsie in positioning from Doran. Had a good game one, but looked a bit shaky in the last two so far.
And it feels like, I mean, this game is just so out of control. Even though it's only a 1,000 gold lead right now for T1, you have to remember all the scaling that they have on them. Kayle getting away completely unscathed.
Yeah.
In this laning phase, no grass procs really being done by Ornn. Deft and Keria can't really achieve anything down here. This is all bad news bears.
Yeah, Effort moving on back into this lane will be able to keep Teddy healthy and make sure that they can safely push out this lane. And Pioshik, I'm looking at that 0-0-0. It's really not making me feel too good about this Lee Sin pick. Really needs to start getting some stuff done. So we, yeah, check out Effort as they just destroy.
Well, they just get a kill on him, and Lee Sin is really living up to his name. Lee sucks, as not really managing to achieve anything here. As we are 10 minutes into the game, he can't keep up with Graves in scaling, and so the onus was on him from the get-go in order to do things, and he just hasn't managed to be able to do it whatsoever. So you don't really know what is going on. They're down 1,500.
Biffo here towards the bottom side. Teddy not exactly taking the better end of that, but you're going to see T1 move down. They'll clear out wards with their jungler handy That's going to make sure that Teddy is absolutely fine. Eat through that potion, sever him also, giving him that health back. And yeah, I don't know, LS. DRX have a comp that wants to try and scrap, try and get stuff done. And T1 have a wait-and-see comp. Skirmishes gonna go in, does find the steal. And there is the Tempered Fate as well. Mega Inferno Bomb fantastically timed is now Depth. Free hitting in the backline. Effort has to flash, Cuz gets himself over the wall. Cloud Soul this game. DRX showing us a little bit of what this composition's capable of, especially with Chovy pairing up with Carrier to make sure that Mega Inferno Bomb is impossible to miss.
Yeah. And we'll see what can end up happening as, okay, well, Ziggs deals quite a bit of damage.
Hextech Minefield going down as Faker doesn't find the wildcards onto the Ziggs, but Chovy also missing a few of these bouncing bombs that are very difficult to land onto Faker. Dragon
trying to
is
bait
still
it.
in, and yeah, Cuz looking for the opportunity. Flash comes out. Pyosik should also survive. Chovy really taking control of the mid lane. Like literally, the terrain in the mid lane was under his control. They do get the flash for free out of Faker, who's unsealed Spellbook. We'll give him a ghost.
And Kana just continuing to farm up there in top lane. Ends up getting the smite right there, but you can see that because of effort, are
Yoshi
not
could've
able to
kick
get...
flashed.
Yeah, well...
He agrees, he agrees. It's like, oh, I probably should have kick flashed him. I mean, just another kill. Maybe holding on to that cooldown for something that's going to be happening here in the future, and possibly that Faker play that we did see already. And, okay, Cousin Effort looking for Pyosik. Agatha steps on up here as there is Shelly in the mid lane.
Lord Grompulus.
Lord Grompulus? Why did Agatha change her name? Is Tempered Fate's going to save the
between
turret?
spring and summer.
Oh, right.
Defected to the LPL.
Why is Lord Grompulus here now?
I don't know. He got stuck with him. He showed up
It's
one
such
day.
a mouthful.
Yeah, well, you can blame G-Sun.
I
She
mean,
fed him one day and he kept coming back.
So Bertha's gone too. Cuz gonna get kicked into the wall, but there is the ulti out of Faker. He's gonna turn up and lock down the kill. Traded junglers so far. As Faker gets taken down to half, but 1 for 1. Not gonna be too upset on either side. And no flash was utilized there by Pyosik either.
Wait a second. I think that they're going to be able to actually get the mid... Nope, never mind. Not going to be able to get it low enough, I don't imagine.
Yeah, I don't think so. Not even able to get that Demolish proc.
Yep.
But it's only a matter of time before Chovy does whittle that one down, and we'll be able to use that satchel charge just to destroy the turret.
Oh.
That was a...
I mean, I think that really captures how he's probably feeling. This game.
Ow, my head.
I love playing dodgeball against Ziggs.
Well, I mean, Faker does have the boots for it.
Yeah, he does.
So at least there's that. I mean, it's a bit of dodgeball on both sides. Even wildcards are pretty annoying to deal with. Just everyone having to stay on their toes.
Yeah. And Kana's level 11 with a 900 gold lead, has the call completed. And let's take a look at how this all transpired here. So, you can see Pyosik goes for the Q, Twisted Fate coming in with the gold card, able to be there, otherwise it would have been a quick pickup.
Yep, Minefield comes down, satchel charge, Faker doesn't take too much damage there, Rod of Age is completed. But the turret plates have all fallen down. T1 do have a slight gold advantage, about 1.4k. Deft has been very quiet this game, but has solidified himself about a wave ahead as far as farm. His Effort taking a lot of damage here as well. Dredgeline traded for a Tempered Fate. Bad news for DRX, but at least Effort is chunked out to a point where he's not going to be able to stick around. And I'm just looking at this Kale, man, and I just don't know what DRX is supposed to do.
There is absolutely no answer to her in the later stages of this game. Doran's going to make his way back up to top lane. He can throw out the Q, auto-attack the minion, Bella's Breath, get that CS. He's going to E forward.
Oh,
No,
not
he's
even
going to miss the CS instead. All right, so.
Just didn't. He didn't want you to be right. I think that's what it was.
Okay.
His pride got in the way. Yep, Kenna. He's pretty good at clearing out mini waves now that he's ascended so many times.
Yeah, I mean, Snail is online, so.
Samus.
Ooh. I like that.
Not bad.
Samus Aran, yeah, okay. Alright. Well, Magi Soul Stealer also picked up by Faker.
Yeah, he knows that this game is all about Canna, so actually the more of a target he can put on his head, the better it is for T1. So you may as well build a Magi's.
Yeah.
That will mean that the KL carry certainly can come in. Nash's Tooth coming in second here for Canna. Does have the Gunblade already completed as DRX move on over to this Cloud Drake. One Drake apiece so far for both of these teams, so not going to get these early souls that we've had. Cloud Drake not exactly pivotal for either side. As there's a Tempered Fate. Misses. Thank you very much. Says Faker to his Swiftness boots. And DRX with 4 strong here in the mid lane. Are able to control the area very nicely. Hextech Minefield is good, but the Mega Inferno Bomb a little bit off time.
Still gets the flash.
And the stopwatch, so a lot of big cooldowns. As Canna's probably just going to kill Doran here. I just don't see how he's supposed to survive. As yeah, he knocks up Faker. Never mind, I think that was just a solo kill anyway. Don't know why the Destiny was even necessary, but you may as well get yourself a Magi stack if you can. And DRX will be able to take down the Cloud Drake. At T1, I don't think there's many members of the team that care about that at all.
Well, it seems like this game is probably over. And
yeah.
T1 are easily just in the driver's seat because even if it seems like the other 4 champions in the game are playing an honorable game of League of Legends, Kayle has yet to join the fray.
Yeah.
And as soon as she starts entering team fights, everything changes. And
did you mean to quote Kayle when you said that as well?
What?
Into the fray. Wasn't that a thing that
Did
she
she
said?
say that?
Yeah. Oh wait, you only played in Korea, so you wouldn't know.
And I play with sounds off.
Yeah. Yeah. I think she does that.
Okay.
Nice. I think the collective can probably confirm.
Yeah, maybe probably going to be able to confirm there. And Twisted Fatal does come out to help with that, and DRX just have not been able to really do anything here. And Faker, I mean, he's at 6 stacks on the Magi's. Be able to get to 10 soon, and that's Boots of Swiftness, Aether Wisp, and the Soul Stealer passive.
Yeah, he's real. He's going to be a big deal.
Yeah.
Faker. He already is probably the biggest deal in League of Legends history, but still, even in the context of just this game, much bigger deal than he has been so far. Gold lead, not something that we really need to talk about, to be perfectly honest, guys, because Canna exists on this Kayle. As Cuz is going to stop a couple of backs, and Satchel Charge going to be utilized there as Teddy spent about 200 years down towards his bottom side and still hasn't done any damage to the turret. He's going to start on that one now. Goshik over clearing out vision. Now they're looking to do the 2-man face check. Dredgeline is going to land. The Lee Sin in trouble. As there it is, the Destiny comes down. Tempered Fate's fantastic as Def finds some damage onto Faker. Teddy moving on over though, as there's the Mega Inferno Bomb. Effort taking so much damage from the sweet spot of that ability. And now the hunt is on. Moonlight Vigil, I believe, just landed. And now, Area, what the heck was that? What? The most amazing cosmic binding we have ever seen. And Canna is the only man left standing.
And that is a triple kill for Chovy. Cameraman, cut away from top lane.
Yeah, we don't want to watch
you.
that. We want to at least have the idea that DRX can win.
At Ziggs left clicking up mid lane. Fantastic, Alice.
Unbelievable stuff. 10 seconds now until the Baron spawns on the map. Canna is able to walk wherever the heck he wants. And it seems like it's absolutely fine. There's no outer turret here. But still, not a care in the world because he's so incredibly strong. Let's have a look at this one again. I mean, if Carrier's done anything, he's at least proven that he's one of the best supports in the world.
Well,
even if they lose this series.
We take a look at this, and honestly, I mean, the Bard Ultimate is so fantastic. As well as Def getting so much damage. Chovy coming in there with the bomb as well. Carrier taking a magical journey, and then watch what he ends up doing. Throws out the Cosmic Binding, flashes, gets the double stun, and then unfortunately, he didn't need to walk forward. He actually, that was over. He didn't.
Yeah, could have walked back.
He felt bad for how much he did them dirty. He felt guilty.
Oh, slightly mistimed on that one. Makes up for it though.
Yep. Has another magical journey, doesn't use it right away.
I like that he sets up the magical journey and then
맞아.
lines it up, takes him down.
오, 나이스. 바텀.
Said, oh, nice,
어,
nice. Yeah. Although that was in English, I guess.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Didn't quite need to translate that one, but I'm really glad that you did.
Yeah.
For anyone at home who
Thank
doesn't
you.
speak English and is for some reason listening to the English broadcast, certainly translating me English to English will be very important for them.
Guys in chat, not a big deal.
Oh dear.
40 seconds until the next Cloud Dragon comes up. As, all right, Faker is going to summon Rift Herald at the Wolf Pit.
Yeah, Shirley just wants to see some puppies before she decides to go headbutting. Speaking of Faker, he now does not have any stacks on his Magi's, which is another result that is positive for DRX out of that team fight. Cuz going to make his way in towards this top lane, where Doran does make it underneath his inner turret, but my god, the damage out of Canna is starting to get obscene. And as this big zoom out continues, Canna he can take as many turret shots as he wants.
Yeah, it's legitimately something straight out of solo queue where, like, oh!
Mega Inferno Bomb for the zoning. The kickback's brilliant, and Def will take down Teddy. Now Carrier looking for effort and does just bully him out of the area. Doran, good knock-up, but I think that Canna probably still kills you. Like,
he's just trying to hang on.
Yeah. Doran's like telling the rest of the team, like, guys, like, I know you're having fun and stuff, but please stop.
And they should be able to get this turret. Yeah, satchel charge, able to raise it. They're on a timer, though.
Oh, yeah.
Kayle is a weapon of mass destruction, and she's going to pop off soon. She's almost level 16. She's going to get exalted.
Now Carrier's going to try and find another Cosmic Binding. Effort.
Oh!
Ooh, not going to get stunned.
He would have been dead.
Now we got Soul Point.
Yeah.
Guess that's good.
Soul Point is very good, and this is actually very big because 30% CDR on Ziggs' ultimate, plus he has Ludens, plus Fiendish Codex. If he has
Mega in front of him. Gets the ulti out of Canna.
This is a Venn diagram if I ever saw one.
Yeah, we'll
but
take it.
the Ziggs ultimate is really big because it means that Chovy can shut down side lanes. Also, Chovy, a little bit of a savant, did reposition the Luden's Echo in order to get the Rabadon's Death Crown.
It's all coming together.
It is. It really, is there anything he can't do?
I think we need to talk to DRX about those jerseys. I want Chovy on the back. 100%. Actually, no, I've been a Deft fan for too long. I'd need to get the Deft one, so you can have the Chovy one.
You know what? I'll get a Choky one. Actually,
Someone on Twitter did say that. Like, no, not Chovy. You should get Choky. I'm like, he hasn't turned up yet. I don't know whether he's still on the team. We'll have to find out. Stay tuned for the rest of the summer split of LCK Summer. The potential Chokies. But he's certainly not here today. 3-0 and 1. He's ahead by a lot of farm as well.
Alright, now Kayle's come to the bot lane.
We're not,
got the flash.
Flash, yeah, really nice.
Kayle is on it. I mean, I would feel bad if I'm Doran. Really, he should also get a Bramble Vest, by the way, for what it's worth.
Yeah,
in the fights that could be helpful. In the team fight, I mean, it's certainly not going to matter at this point.
No, this is why I'm finding it very difficult to commentate this game because I feel like it's already over because of one champion.
Snail has. Oh no, Snail's coming for him. He knows it. He can sense it.
Yeah, Samus got all of her upgrades, man. This is like you've skipped to the end and you've got all of the stuff.
Interestingly enough, Chovy went for the Banshee's Veil. So that is very big. Another interesting thing is Faker's death actually took away basically an item from him. He doesn't have the Magi stack.
Yeah.
So that is very big. So even though T1, they're not that far behind in gold, their 4 champions are behind versus DRX's, but they're winning the mini game is what is happening here.
Yeah, and remember, I mean, Samus is a solo bounty hunter, and that's exactly what Canna is right now as well. It's almost irrelevant what the rest of the team are doing. Is Teddy not going to get one shot by that one? He learned from last time. As, bless you, sir. As Canna, he's going to go back home now, possibly complete his Rage Blade.
Quite literally. Oh, no.
Lying in wait.
Oh.
Okay, there's the Destiny. Flash comes in. Oh my god, Chovy's just the best player ever.
I knew you'd come around.
It was very, very good. Cosmic Binding's also going to land here as Carrier gets a bit upset that we were praising Chovy so much, and he's going to lock down the kill. And what? That was a flash for some reason. Mega Inferno Bomb once again going to tag Teddy. I feel like this 4v4, DRX is winning, and then this 1v9 that Cannon's doing, he's winning, you know? It's the tale of two games.
This is really something out of like a Marvel movie where like
yeah.
Ornn is like that character that's trying to hold off for all the other superheroes.
Oh god.
Guys, can you get it together soon? Like,
please.
Yeah.
He's holding the doors.
Oh man.
Oh no. Oh, I got flashbacks. That episode was really sad.
If he had the blue Ornn skin, we could say that it was Thanos versus Captain Marvel.
True.
We could go with that storyline, but he doesn't have it.
No, he doesn't. That's not going to be. No fun allowed.
Yeah.
Not in this game. 600 gold the lead for DRX. Don't know why I mentioned it. It's basically irrelevant. It's about how this game is going to be played by both of these sides, and the more money that Canna gets, the more difficult it becomes for DRX to do anything at all as this game continues. Deft is close to his Death Dance, and his Ezreal is in a much better position than it was in the last game. Still, and then I look at the Kayle, and I'm like, why am I even talking about DRX?
Yeah, Alex, stop doing this. Honestly, it's getting a little bit weird.
I'm trying to do play-by-play things. And,
now, I like how
instead.
Kayle, even though she's 16, she's stopped advancing forward. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that Ziggs is in mid. And if Ziggs starts going hunting, he's looking to clip some wings. And that is exactly what he can do. So, he is online. I mean, this is 10 seconds until Cloud Soul comes up.
That's a lot of Mega
This is
Inferno
3 games in a row of Souls, by the way.
Yeah.
We have gone the distance every single game. And, okay, well,
They're just starting the Baron. Okay, True Shot Barrage is going to jump into the pit. A lot of damage available here with Teddy as the Tempered Fate is going to buy some time for DRX. As Kaz gets taken down so low. Mega Inferno Bomb not quite enough. As the Ram, oh my god, the ulti had to be used from Canna though. As the gates used defensively. And now, DRX are going to be able to walk down and take Cloud Drake if they want to.
I thought Kayle wasn't going to be able to get it, actually. I thought Graves was just at the edge of the range. I thought that was about to be a strike. And that would have been the game. That would have been Baron and... Ana trying to get sneaky. And now this is what T1's team comp is diminished to almost. It's smoke and mirrors.
But they don't even know that they're doing this. What? Canna just wanted to get to the minion wave. Okay, so that is going to be Cloud Soul for free. And T1 thinking that they can do back. No, they're not. I am very confused.
Welcome back, Atlas. Day 1. We're in for a long summer.
I'm not a fan of summer either. It's too hot. Especially in Korea.
I'd call it a cold summer, but we don't freeze here, so... you know, like...
No. By the way, congratulations that that is now named an LS thing.
Thank you.
Very, very cool.
Thank you.
Thanks
to Frostgurn and Quickshot for that.
Yep. Credit where credit's due. Absolutely fantastic. I hope they cited your freezing video.
Sir Pope. This is the title I was given.
Sir Pope. What?
Well, at this point...
Lasting sainthood.
Yeah.
That's what we're calling
there
it.
we go. Long summer.
Yeah. Actually, I love that picture as well of you as the Pope. That was really good.
That was good.
Effort's going to get caught out of position. Mega Inferno Bomb once again timed really, really nicely, and Kyoshik going to tag Effort. It's going to be a kill there. Good interrupt. It's going to mean that Depth Charge stops that one from being a kill, as Canna can't necessarily tank the turret for very long. Doesn't have a very large health bar. Does do obscene amounts of damage, but underneath the turret against...
Oh, he got Warmog, so that in between the minion waves, he can heal back up!
There we go! It's perfect!
This is a bit of a 5-head!
Yeah, well, there's the Ram. Doran's going to use the Searing Charge to try and get rid of the minions, as now Faker comes in towards the bottom side. They're trying to juggle the throw, but they're not even able to do it, as now DRX are inside the Baron pit, and they will take down the Baron. What is happening, LS?
Well, Doran is... I mean, he was molded in the fire, it seems.
Forged.
But, yeah, quite literally.
Mount Doom.
He's back to full HP.
Oh my goodness.
Came up with a really good idea. And honestly, this didn't even click in my head until after he did it.
There is actually 2 games of League of Legends happening right now.
There's
Like,
2 games.
T1's winning the bottom lane, but DRX are winning the game.
Oh, man.
Inhibitor taken on the top side of the map. Now Tempered Fate is going to go wide. Teddy with a fair bit of damage there. Few years worth, as you may imagine, as the satchel charge lies in wait for this turret to go down low enough, and they will be able to take it down. DRX, I don't know how they've maneuvered this, but they're in a game-winning position.
The center comp is fighting back against the one angel that is in the game. That is exactly what's going on.
Oh, we've moved to Tyrael territory right now as far as what this Kale's going to be representing. I thought it was Samus. I thought she was hunting for bounties, but nope, it's a fallen angel.
All right, well, let's
40k damage to turrets. Jovi's done a good job.
I have no idea. The DRX stands for defile this game. As T1 is being told that it is not looking very pretty for them. As with this wide open of a base and how quickly Ziggs. We're going to ignore that book.
Oh, now the Tempered Fate going to land onto Teddy here. Mega Inferno Bomb comes down. My God, he was almost the one-shot again. As now what?
Wait, what?
That's so much damage. Did he die to his own death dance? I think he might have.
Wow.
Oh my God. You can stagger it, but you still take the damage, unfortunately. And now 2 inhibitors have been taken and make that 3. As T1 are trying desperately to defend. Cuz down to about half health, and now the full brunt of this siege power is brought to bear. Effort goes down relatively low. Canna is still here, but can he actually get the damage done? Mega Inferno Bomb must be respected, but it is. And they don't take the damage. The bouncing bombs, though, are doing absolutely enough. It's Cuz. He's an Arcane Shift away from dead, but Def is going to die first. The Kale's going to take him down, but the T1 health bars are just too low. Pyoshik jumps on in with the resonating strike, and then Nexus is just dead. DRX 2-1 over T1.
And honestly, it is on the back of Bard and the Ziggs in this game. The Wombo combo from the Bard ultimate into the Ziggs ultimate, just so impressive.
Oh my God, like, Keria and Chovy just played some of the best mechanical League of Legends that I've seen in a really long time.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to say too much about like Keria's Bard as like best Bard in the world or anything like that. Lumao exists, things like this, but that game was just beautiful to watch.
And I think what ends up, what you have to really pay attention to here is, I think Kana's decision to stay isolated away from his team for as long as he did, I think was actually a really poor decision. Even though he was constantly winning the minigame, after they fell apart in their red side jungle to Keria's engage, he needed to start joining in with his team, and he never ended up doing that. So eventually Doran, he found a move 78, and he built the Warmog. He found a move 78 in order to bring down the AlphaGo Kale, and that was all that was necessary in order to buy enough time. The Ziggs the Bard eventually taking over the game.
And this is just, like, the result of this game is actually twofold for DRX as well, because they have a really difficult start to the season. T1 followed immediately by Gen.G. Gen.G no slouches in regular season by any means, and were also fantastic during MSC for a large portion of it until getting crushed in the semifinals, but they were the only team from Korea that made it to the finals. But the fact that DRX have now won this, they will have the momentum, and somehow they also did it in a game 3. And that is not how DRX win games. They win, like, it's like 2-0 or nothing for this team, because they don't tend to have the longevity and the sustain in order to get through. But this game 3 told us that, yes, of course they do have that in them.
Yeah. They had the ability to go the distance. They were behind in this game.
Yeah.
They had the impending...
They should have lost, right?
That was Kale.
Oh my God.
Well, you know what they say, Atlas? They say kill it with fire. And Ziggs did indeed.
A Mega Inferno, in fact. My God.
As Aphelios not quite able to do anything there in that game, and everything just really fell apart around them.
Yeah, and I think it shows that banning the Kalista and not giving that as the option against the Ezreal, I think the Kalista really did work a lot better for T1 against the Ezreal style of composition. But I think that the Ziggs and Bard were just a masterstroke. The way that Carrier and Chovy worked together with the Tempered Fate Mega Inferno Bomb was just really beautiful to watch. And I actually feel like all the Cloud Drakes building up really helped them out also. So I'm going to check out some of the highlights.
I think Faker was doing such a good job in early and mid-game, especially in the laning phase. I mean, he had 5 turret plates for the longest time against the Ziggs. Went boots to swiftness. He got the ball rolling. Cuz was in the right place at the right time. Pretty consistently. I mean, we can say that he died here, but also this was a good trade for T1.
Yeah, I mean, it was fine, yeah.
Yeah. And this was another really good play by Faker, who was really managing to help accelerate, but Kana never really joined the fray. Effort went for this hook, but the Bard ultimate.
Oh, just Carrier. They got carried really hard in this team fight.
And you can see Teddy, he couldn't make up his mind with what he wanted to do, and then watch Carrier in this fight, magical journey to save the game. If this doesn't happen, this was a very big turning point because it brought them so much control, it got them so much gold that also T1 was deprived of, and it helped them stabilize in this game. Another really good ultimate by Bard. Def trying to get in a lot of damage, and there was the pinball, and I actually thought that Graves was going to end up going down there, but strike denied. Another fantastic Bard ultimate. Super Mega Death Bomb thingy-majiggy.
Super Mega Ultimate does too much damage on a too short a cooldown bomb, I think is what it's called. As this is exactly the combo that we were talking about, and Teddy dies to his own staggered damage.
미드 가자.
And Teddy had flash, right?
I mean, you can't flash out of a bleed that's going to kill you.
No, but he flashed at the edge.
내가 상대 케일이가 조심해야 돼.
Oh, actually, yeah, no. To avoid the damage, yes, I think he could have.
Unless the timing was so thin, it's like one of those Zanya's interactions where if you're really...
No, I know what you mean.
Nonetheless, DRX, really good intent, really good execution.
빨리 봐봐. 타워만. 빼. 살짝 볼게. 빼. 자, 편 빼면 안 나가 프리. 타워. 끝내.
Yoshik, so incredibly happy with that win.
Looking very angry, actually, in his player cam. He shook his head like almost...
No, I think I know exactly what he's thinking that should have been game 2, because when Def plays Ezreal, he needs to perform, and in game 2, that wasn't the Ezreal performance that you're looking for.
Maybe feeling very flustered with himself in that player cam. So this is good though, because that's the acknowledgement, that's the lack of complacency with the win and what's happened. It wasn't enough of a victory for him.
I mean, Deft has always been incredibly hard on himself.
Yeah.
And always been one to uplift the other players on the team. So apparently his flash didn't work or something like that. I don't know, and he was upset about it. But it is going to be Carrier that picks up player of the game. I think Chovy or Carrier, whichever one you feel like could have got that, but I think the Bard play was absolutely the turning point. Without that, it would have just been T1 rolling over the top. And 200 years was not long enough for T1 to win this one. Oh, God. Huge flash, just stunning.
And right here, Carrier, he didn't need to die, but nonetheless, the entire play was set up by him. He just did so many things on Bard, and Bard is such a disgustingly broken champion, by the way. I'm so happy to see him have such a pop-off performance.
I think he's like disgustingly broken, but also like you don't want him to be nerfed, because watching good Bard play is just
it's
so
very
good.
akin to Thresh. When you watch a good Thresh, it feels very rewarding, and when you watch a bad Thresh, you're like, wow, please pick it again.
Absentee.
Like
it's not how it's supposed to work. But I know that there is a Wadid somewhere who is just extraordinarily happy at watching this game, at Carrier in general, and how that performance went. And a really fun first day, actually. I think Afrika performed much better than expected in our first series, and then we get this banger of a full 3 games here with DRX versus T1. Of course, guys, don't think that T1 are out of this. This is day 1 and their first match. And this is not a team that generally starts off super strong. But I think people that are DRX fans can definitely be excited, as here we are, the bottom lane of DRX. And here's G-Sun for some translation.
Congratulations on the win, and we'll be hearing from Kyria, Daph, the bot duo of DRX. How do you feel right now?
네, 일단 오늘
Well, today
T1을 이제 스프링 시즌 때 한 번도 못
we
봤었는데
we were never able to take down T1 in the spring split, but super happy that we're able to make it today. But at the same time, I made too many mistakes, so I can't be just too happy about this.
기뻐만 해도 될 것 같습니다만은. 그러게요.
I mean, I believe you guys can enjoy this happiness right now. I didn't see too much of a mistake. What was the mistake, to be specific?
일단 1세트 때
Well, in game 1,
타워 가는 판단을 이제 제가
well,
잘못해서
I made a bad decision going for the tier 2 turret, so we were losing hard at that point.
저희가 이기는 그림까지
And also game 2, we were able to have a huge lead and
앞에서
almost able to close out the game, but with that tier 2 turret, Azir shuffle, we had to lose game number 2, so I cannot be too happy about today's win.
약간 아쉬움도 있었는데 결국 이렇게 오늘 T1을 잡는.
But in the end, DRX, you guys indeed took down T1, so who do you want to share this happiness with?
당연히 고맙고
Well, definitely, I want to say thank you to my teammates for doing such a great work. And also our coach, CV Max, he always gives us a lot of advice after every game, keeping us alert.
네, 자 키리아 선수도 소감이 남다를 것 같습니다. 자, 한 말씀 하셔야겠죠.
What about you, Kyria?
일단 제가 데뷔하고
First of
나서
all,
T1을 한 번도 못 이겼고
Yeah, this is my first victory
도란
up against
선수도
T1
작년부터
after
한
my
번도 못
debut.
이겼더라고요.
Doran
그래서
also, he
이번에도
never
지면은
defeated
상황이
T1
너무
since
안
last
좋게
year,
잡힐 것
so
같아서
if
되게
we
열심히
did lose
잘했던 것
today, it could have been a big problem for us. It could be a huge mental block for us, but we were able to break it down today, finally.
오늘 아펠리오스로 뎁트가 POG를
Daph,
차지했는데
you won POG on Aphelios.
아펠리오스의 티어 그리고 전체적으로 원딜
So,
티어 좀 이렇게 좀 정리해 주시겠어요?
What is your ADC tier list currently?
사실 이제 바루스 빼면은 이제
Outside of
앞에
Varus,
텔리,
Aphelios,
이즈리얼
Kalista,
세 개가
Ezreal are the top 3
제일 좋은 것
champions
같고,
in the
그
current meta.
뒤로는 뭐가 나와도 좀
And
이상한 상황인 것 같아요.
Outside of those 2
그렇군요.
champions, any champions can be picked.
중무 오브 레전드인데
And also that stance.
수훈을 올렸다고
But
합니다. 근데
you
이거는
actually
어떤 그
went for
태민 선택한
QSS
이유가
first
있습니까?
네, 아마 1세트
in game number 1.
잘안 나는데
I exactly don't remember the opponent picks, but I thought that QSS will be helpful
적픽 뭐 상대는 뭐
to
믿고
win game number 1,
있겠습니다만,
considering the opponent's
그리고-
team comp.
그 인터뷰에서 저 얘기 봤어요? 그 무딜링?
And did you see that? The trash talk, non-damage dealing from Kyria.
캐리아가 있죠 그거.
그렇죠.
예. 캐리아서
Kyria.
어떻게 무딜링?
So what was that?
데프트를 보고
How
무딜링
can you say non-damage to the
전
famous
몰랐는데 아까
Daph?
인터뷰하러 오기 전에 말씀해 주시더라고요.
I mean, I didn't know about that, but
근데 다른
the script writers told us about the
해설진 분들도
no
무어 딜링이란
breathing
걸
damage stuff.
알았으니
So
무딜링도 상관.
I mean, it's actually gives you the same vibe. But sorry for making such a silly mistake.
데프트가 이해를 해야죠. 데프트 어떻습니까?
Daph.
본인 보고 야 무딜링이라고 했는데.
Kyria called you non-damage AD carry. How do you like that?
할것 같아요.
I guess I have to practice more.
네, 캐리아가 또 그 역할을 해줬고요. 자 이제 3세트. 자 캐리아 바디
Moving on
얘기
to
한번
game
해볼까요?
number 3,
그렇죠. 바드
Kyria, your
플레이를 하는
performance
데
in
있어서
Bard
부담감도
was
심했을
on
것
point,
같은데
but I
되게
believe you also
적극적으로
felt
자신감 있게 특히 드래곤
a little
쪽에서도
bit of
앞으로 치고
pressure
나가면서 명장면도 만드셨어요.
because it was a
좀
decider
어떠셨어요,
game,
바드
but
플레이
you were
하시면서?
going forward and
일단
you were really
연습
proactive.
과정에서 좀 자주 했는데
I played
감독님이
Bard a
저한테
lot
바드가
during the
엄청 잘
practice
어울린다고,
game,
잘한다고 해줘서
and also CV
자신감
Max told me
있이
that
픽하고
Bard
콘텐츠에서도
connects with me really
좋은
well, so I had
역할을 잘
confidence
수행했던 것 같아요.
in this champion, so I was able to
그
pull
대회
off
앞에
a
상대에게 이제
good play on
관문
this
쪽으로
champion in
들어가지고
game number
붙지
3.
않았나요? 따닥 그거 따닥 예,
Weren't you a little bit scared before you
그거
went for
딱
the magical
검은
journey
TP가 카드
in the
들어오는 거
Dragon
보고
Pit?
아,
Yeah, I mean, as soon as I clicked the magical journey, I saw Twisted Fate with a gold card, but I was like, oh, I'm dead, and then I just Q flashed and it worked.
그 미드가 나올 것 같았는데 직스가 나갔거든요. 여기 3세트에서.
And we were actually expecting Syndra, some of the stronger pick, but DRX rotated or rather turned to Ziggs in mid lane. Why was that?
가끔씩 이제 꺼내는 카드인데
Chovy
그냥
sometimes play it,
자기가 판단하에 좀
but
활약할 수 있는
based
카드
on
꺼내는
his
거고 그냥
decision,
제
we
생각에는 그냥
let him play it.
푸시가
And
좋고
also for
스페
me, I
돌아다닐 때
believe
파워를 잘
Ziggs is really good
뛰지
at
않을까요?
wave clear, so when Twisted Fate is
그리고 오늘
roaming around the map, it's really good to raise the turrets.
선수도 끝나고 세레모니도 그렇고 되게
And
자신감이
Pyosik
좀
was also
넘치더라고요.
looking for
확실히 팀원이
confidence,
봤을 때도 좀
especially with
많이
the
예전에
ceremony
비해서
at
좀
the
그런
end.
부분이
So,
돌아왔나요? 뭐더
is
이렇게
the
컨디션이
team's
좋았었나요?
atmosphere back?
네, 요즘에 이제 표식 선수가 이제 폼이
Yeah, recently Pyosik, his performance is on point, and also he always has been showing great mechanical plays, and also now he's a smart player.
이번 시즌 기대 많이 해주셔도
So you guys can look
이제
forward
몸만
to
좋으면 안
his
되는 거죠.
improved
판단이 빨라야
performance.
되니까. 예. 자 이제 다음 상대는
And your next
우리가
opponent
강팀을
will
만나게
be
볼수 있겠습니다만 이제 젠지입니다.
Genji,
네.
another
이거
strong
쫓아가기
team in
쉽지
LCK.
않은데 이런
It's a
대진은
tough
좀
schedule for week
기쁩니까?
number one.
아니면,
How do you
진짜
like this
쉽게
kind
가는
of
게 좀
schedule?
이렇습니까? 데프트는 어때요?
개인적으로는 이제
Personally,
저희가 중간에 MSC가 껴 있었어서
we had MSC in between the
어,
splits,
뭔가 경기력이
so
떨어져 있는 상태는 아니라고 생각해서
I
네,
believe
강팀이랑
our
초반에 분명히
form
좋은
is
것 같아요.
still really up.
최근에
So
경기력이
it's
있으니까.
actually
네.
rather good
자신감도
to
있을
go
것 같습니다.
against
그러면 각오
stronger
말씀
teams
부탁드릴게요.
in a row.
젠지 어떻게 싸울 겁니까?
What's your mindset
데프트
for that
먼저
series?
말씀 부탁드릴게요.
네, 일단 스프링 때 못 꺾었던 상대도
Well,
꺾었으니까 네,
We
진지는
already
꺾어
took
꺾었던
down
상대니까,
the undefeatable
네, 꺾고
opponents
있으니까.
in the spring
알겠습니다.
splits.
그리고
Now
캐리어도
it's Genji's
팬들께
turn. We have
한 말씀
done it before,
부탁드리겠습니다.
so we will repeat it next time.
일단 저희 상대로 T1을 한 번 못 이겼는데 이겨서
So,
좋고
First of all, I'm
진지
super happy
상대로
that
잘
we finally
준비하면은
took down
저희도
T1. And
네,
if
잘할 것
we
같습니다.
prepare really hard for the Genji split, I think
알겠습니다.
we'll do great.
네.
Throughout the
하지만
summer split.
그렇죠. 뭐더 이상이 없습니다. 자 그러면 오늘 다시
So
한번
this will be the end of the interview with
젠지전도
Theft
좋은
and
날에
Kyria,
기대하겠습니다. 축하드립니다.
Aphelios and
감사합니다.
Bard on the
네.
POG performance, and I'm gonna pass it back to our casters. Thank you.
Thank you so much, G-Sun, for the translation. As per usual, great to hear from Carrier and Def. Just so wholesome, those two. The fact that they are so close friends, as well as just being exceptionally good at playing the game together. And just DRX winning that game is not something that I would have predicted. However, the way they played it out was just fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, I would have called it, 12 minutes I would have called that game.
Right.
T1's favor.
But the thing is, like, we assume that T1 is going to have a certain level of macro play, right? And then they throw away a Cloud Soul and they throw away a Baron, and you're starting to scratch your head about what's going on. Look, the comparison between Koma's belt and Coach Kim's belt has been brought up before, and we'll see whether that is going to once again be something we get to talk about in the next T1 game. But tomorrow, KT versus Team Dynamics LCK debut, and Hum will life with their Viper Lahen's reunited bot duo up against SP, which is APK Prince. Now, I'm gonna butcher the name. Solyebol Prince.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait till I'm gonna wait till I have to officially pronounce it.
It's a yikes. It's not super great for me. I don't know. I feel like my
Totally
English
fine.
accent does tend to just ruin everything.
Doubt.
But I'm gonna practice, and I'll be back to try and get that one correct. Not tomorrow. Brennan will be here tomorrow.
He will.
He will. All right, guys. But that will be it for today. I hope you've enjoyed the first day back for LCK Summer for 2020. And I'll see you on Saturday, but Brendan will be here with LS for some more games tomorrow, of course. Still, 5 in a row. It's going to be fantastic. Thank you so much for watching. Good night.
And I am ready to take it on. You told me to be myself and never feel alone. You're all that I want, you're all that I need. If I was ever